going straight into it. Straight into it again. Third and Teal.
What's our link for the YouTube?
This is a great intro right now. The link is the link. Let me pull up the link. Good night, good afternoon, good evening.
Good morning.
I'm not used to this whole video not playing beforehand thing. I probably should have played that again.
Okay.
Technical difficulties. YouTube link. It's coming.
Yeah.
Me too. Liam Cohen is in the building.
All right.
He said hello.
Apparently, from what I'm hearing, is that Liam Cohen was Trevor's number one choice, like 1A, and Johnson was 1B. And then, like, the Jaguars originally, Johnson was 1A and Cohen was 1B, is what I'm hearing. So I'm glad we went with 1A for Trevor, because I'll tell you why here in a second. And we're going to talk about that. I don't want everybody to freak out before we talk about it.
Same reason I'm going to say it, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is it the same thing that I sent you the other day? That's literally like,
yeah.
Yep.
Disgusting.
Oh, okay, Eric. I just sent it to you. My bad. I didn't know if you got it yet. But anyways, so yeah. Welcome back. We are back for now. We'll decide and we'll let you know if we're going to be 1 episode a week, 2 episodes a week. We'll let you guys know, and we will try to bring that content. Tucker, what's up, brother? Welcome in. Yeah, how you boys been doing on our little break? Took a little sabbatical. How y'all feeling?
I am feeling like if I didn't take this sabbatical, I would be like 1 inch away from headbutting a screw, starting a shotgun, buddy. Because the process I'm in my life right now is very challenging and definitely very time demanding. But I can say the time away is allotted for some things to go down, some conversations to transpire, some statements and comments to be reviewed and ridiculed by yours truly and the rest of Third and Teal. So it's just great to be back.
Yeah.
It is.
We missed you guys. Teal Taliban. Yeah, man. We are. That's what I was talking about a minute ago. The same reason all of us are happy that Ben Johnson's not here. Now, to be completely honest,
I think that's what turned us off of him.
Yeah. I don't think that's what turned us off to him. I don't think that Press Taylor takes that job with the Jaguars. Like, let's say Ben Johnson comes in, and I don't think Press Taylor was going to like step down to become the passing game coordinator in the organization he's already technically the offensive coordinator for. And so that's kind of where I'm sitting with that. Is like most of the time,
they would have kept him as OC. Yeah.
Most of the time, like guys like that people don't step down to a lower role because a new regime comes in and wants to keep them around. They would normally leave. Liam Cohen.
Yeah, in the Rams. I think in one of his stints with the Rams, he went from coordinator back to passing game coordinator.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think it was his second stint. Second stint. He came in and went to OC, then went down.
No, he went back to Kentucky after his. He went.
That was his first stint, right?
No. So first stint, he was the passing game coordinator and assistant OC, yes. And then he left and went to Kentucky, and then he came back to the Rams as the OC, and then he went back to Kentucky the next year.
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah, let me pull it up. I was looking at it the other day.
That's right there. Hey,
go ahead, Eric.
Hey, in the chat room, I'm gonna say welcome to Tucker Powers and the Teal Taliban. That's a hell of a name right there, y'all. Teal Taliban. Well, welcome to the show. Glad y'all can make it.
Yeah,
I know. Cool, ain't it? It's pretty cool.
Yep. So he went from here. It is. So 2010, quarterbacks coach at Brown, then to Rhode Island as the quarterbacks coach, then to Brown again as quarterbacks, Brown quarterbacks, UMass as quarterbacks and passing game co, UMass as quarterbacks and passing game co. Then he went to Maine University as offensive coordinator for 2 years. 2018 became the Los Angeles Rams assistant wide receiver coach. Then he did that for 2018 and 2019. 2020, he was the assistant quarterbacks coach. 2021, he was the Kentucky offensive coordinator. in 2022, he went back to the Rams as the OC. 2023, he went back to Kentucky. And then 2024, he was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers OC. So he never stepped down from any positions.
Okay, I see.
But he's moved around a lot.
Definitely has done that.
But he's also a young coach that was in assistant and quarterback coach roles. He was never in an OC role outside of one time. And I believe the 2022 year was the year that like Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, like their entire team went down with injury, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, everyone got hurt. And then he got the offer from the Bucs, and I mean, who wouldn't take that? It's a better roster because what the Rams are walking into now is overaged and overpaid.
Yeah, because they sold out. The Rams
so
sold out.
Them picks.
They sold out. They said win now.
Right. So now they got to pay the piper. It's time to pay the piper.
Yeah, 2022 they lost. They lost Jordan Fuller most of the season. They lost Logan Bruss the entire season. Tutu Atwell was the entire season, just about. Well, no, a couple weeks. Cam Akers was out for 2 games. They had a bunch of guys go down for extended time.
All the injuries
and of course,
in the world.
Whatever. Like you go from Matt Stafford to whoever the hell they had backing him up. I mean, it wasn't Baker that year, was it?
No, Stetson
Bennett.
Mm-mm.
Baker came out. Bennett
Stetson
came out in 2023, I think.
No way, it was 3.
Pretty sure it was 3.
It might have been 3 because he took a year off. Yeah, he took a whole year.
He took his rookie year because of somebody dying or family or something happened, and then he came back. Coaches are starting to get scooped. Jags better make moves. Yes and no, Robert. I think Patrick Graham decided he's going back to the Raiders as the DC.
Yeah,
I think Brady offered him a bunch of money and everything. And then I think, also you get a chance to work with Pete Carroll. And probably what they told him was like, hey, Pete's only coming in for 2 to 3 years, and then we might like move on to you as the head coach. Because I know that Brady was already mad that he didn't get Johnson or Cohen. Not that he gave Cohen an interview, but it's just like one of those things where he didn't get anybody he wanted. And then
because he was for certain he had Ben Johnson.
I mean, who
else?
else?
I got to say this too, though. I think we breezed past this a little too quickly. We're talking about coordinator for the Jaguars, but we're not talking about the bullet that we dodged. In the fact, and I will say right now, unless their just on-field performance absolutely blows us away, I have to say that I was wrong in the talent and skill evaluation of Ben Johnson's capabilities. If he's willing to hire Press fucking Taylor in any fucking capacity after the absolutely abysmal game plans, performances, and skill utilizations that have been broadcasted and demonstrated over the past few years. So,
unless Press said it was all he was being handcuffed by Doug Peterson.
Yeah, and again,
I don't think we'll ever get the truth on that.
Yeah, we won't. We won't. But if Ben Johnson is stupid enough to fucking believe that, then he should have just taken the job here. There was no reason to get rid of Trent Baalke if he believes all that.
Well, yeah. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is he went and hired Press Taylor, which I think shocked a lot of people.
Absolutely, because we're like Ben Johnson. We're still sad that we didn't get him. We're like, damn, man, he was the number one. And then he fucking hires Press Taylor. We're like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa, man. We love you, Liam.
I really wasn't sold on the Ben Johnson thing anyway. Because I'm always leery when there's a lot of hype around one guy. Okay.
I was hype about him because he's scheming in fake fumbles for 35-yard passing touchdowns. It's fucking genius. Like the guy is gonna be, if he gets his coaching staff right, a great head coach. But the scary part was he going to be able to evaluate his coaching staff? We know he can evaluate player talent, and we know he can evaluate their strengths and weaknesses and utilize them in a game setting. But was he going to be able to put that together and combine them with a coaching staff that helps them flourish? That was the only question left to be seen. And then he hires Press fucking Taylor, and I'm like,
yeah,
fuck that.
That alone should be a red flag. Yeah, it's me.
Now, to be honest with you, I am so glad though. I know that I was pissed that we didn't get Ben, and honestly, a part of me still is upset that we didn't, but not because he was the better choice, but simply because I'm tired of the fact that we make a decision, we want someone, we make it clear that this is the person we're going after, and we still don't actually do what we need to do to get him until it's too fucking late. I'm just tired of seeing that happen here. Now, did we fuck up successfully again? It seems that way. It seems that way. It seems that we have messed up successfully because Liam Cohen is a solid pick. We knew that going into this, though.
Well, sometimes
Isaiah had Liam Cohen on top the whole time anay.
Yeah, look, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Yep. And that also goes into if the rumors are true that Liam was Trevor's number 1 and Ben was his number 2. It's awesome to know that they're actually listening to him.
Right.
But I'm going to quote this right now. This right here, this
That's
one statement.
A lot of butts, Trevor. That's a hell of a lot of butts going on.
Oh, there's a lot of butts. But listen, there's one statement. One statement that makes me excited about all of this.
What's that?
Offensive line is the number 1 thing we need to really get right.
Yeah. And I'm glad you mentioned that. I really am. Because I've been watching the Senior Bowl practice, right? There's this offensive lineman, man. He's 5'10", 270 pounds, and he's raising hell. He's a guard, but a lot of them are projecting him to be a center. I think his name is Lampkin, Will Lampkin or something like that. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, that dude, he has a shot. I'm like, yeah, buddy. Yeah, but I'm sorry. That's a little off of where we wanted to go right now. I just had to bring that up.
5'11", 290, plays for North Carolina.
Yeah. I'm like, man. I mean, the weight, okay, but the height is like, really?
But it's so crazy, though, because, like, you got other guys that are, like, career Pro Bowl centers that are, like, they're like 6 foot or 6'1", and we never talk about that. You know what I mean? It's like that extra or that 1 inch is just like a killer for some people. It's kind of crazy.
But if you watch him, I know the height sounds sketchy, but you think about it, that's a low sense of gravity right there. So
that's a boulder, dude.
Yeah, it's hard to move that.
He's not a wall. He is actually a small mountain. Like
so
I'm just excited though, because dude, how many times have I said this year, Eric? Me and you got you've been listening to me ramble on about not good enough. And how many times have I said, I wish someone would just fucking look at us straight in the face and say, this offensive line fucking sucks and we need to fix it.
Right.
He may not have actually said that, but he said it's a problem. Dude, for years now, we've been getting told that our offensive line is fine. They just need to gel more.
That's fact.
No, they suck.
They suck. They really
there ain't
do.
You can't fix trash.
Yeah. And the thing about it, I went and looked at the free agents who may be available free agent wise, right? And right now, looking at it, it's not a good group out there. It's really not for what we need. Because we need guards. Yeah. Let's be honest. That's I think our biggest problem right now. And maybe because you really don't know what you're gonna get out of Walker Little right now. Some
No.
No.
You
can say we need a tackle also.
I don't know. I am saying we need a tackle, and I am saying that we might get a good backup out of Walker Little.
Well, I mean, that's fine too.
We need a tackle. We need a tackle.
Okay, all right. We need a tackle then. Yeah.
You notice that future DC Anthony Campanile. I always say his name wrong. Campanilis players weren't getting hyped during his speech. I didn't watch his speech.
What speech?
Future DC Anthony. No, I'll be honest with you, Robert. I haven't seen his speech. I'm going to be honest with you guys. Honestly, the only reason I'm up to date with the Jaguars right now is because they're my team. If it wasn't for that, dude, this outside venture in my life right at this moment for the next foreseeable, I'll be done with this venture the last week of June.
Not the last week.
This venture in my life is literally boot camp that I can sleep at home with.
Yeah.
Like,
But he's enjoying it, y'all. Don't let him fool you. He's enjoying it. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's a challenge. He's learning a lot too. He's learning a whole hell of a lot.
my dad ain't gonna lie, man.
Anyway,
Oh, that.
back to what we were talking about. So right now we know we got a special teams coordinator because he kept him.
Yep, and that was a great idea.
Yeah, who else did he keep? Did he keep anyone else?
That's it. So
I mean, I think he's only like major coach.
yeah, everyone else. I will say though, he is behind. Robert does have a point though. I'm not saying that all the candidates are gone, but he is behind the 8 ball. He better start talking to some motherfuckers. We've interviewed somebody. I forgot the name already. The guy, it's Anthony. Sorry. But now that we've interviewed him, like, hold on, the guy was talking about ass kicking. Jags interviewed him for DC. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, we interviewed him. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, Robert. We don't even really need a DC that can get him height. We just need a DC that's not going to put Eric Armstead at the edge and spread our edges out 5 yards out off the tackle.
Yeah.
We do that because, listen, the biggest failure of our defense last year is gap assignment and just knowing your job.
Right.
And you can't do your job if you can't fill the gaps. That's basic defense 101. You can't fill if you can't fill the gaps, you ain't got a defense. Because if he drops back to pass, even if you got good coverage, he's got a Mack truck size lane to run through. Okay, you've got to have good gap discipline. That is number one. We had the worst gap discipline I think I have ever seen in my life. Okay, so that being said, if we have anyone with a brain, they're going to come in and say, I don't know who thought putting you way over here was a good idea, but I don't want you running a marathon to get a sack. Come back over here with the rest of the team. Like, I don't know. But also,
especially for a team that Liam a lot, you know?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. And I think that what Liam said was a good culmination of talent assessment and evaluation also. He said that our D-line, we have the talent. We just got to put them in a better position. Absolutely correct.
Absolutely.
Absolutely correct.
That's what's so mind-boggling when you see some of these mock drafts and they say that defensive lineman out of Michigan. I'm like, why?
About Mason Graham.
Yeah, Mason Graham. Why?
Yeah, if anything, we don't need Mason Graham. We need Abdul Carter. We need another dynamic edge rusher. Yes, if you're going to get somebody from the defensive line, we don't need another tackle because Mason Smith, Jordan Jefferson, Adamewo, Lacey, obviously Hamilton, dude. All those guys are monsters on the interior.
Exactly.
And if they're given adequate assistance from the edge, they will destroy the line.
Exactly.
But if you're automatically putting our edge rushers on islands, which I think that was the goal, right? Get them out on islands, one-on-one. No, dude, it doesn't matter because even if they do win the rush attempt, the quarterback threw the ball 5 minutes ago by the time they make it there.
Right. Or they ran through the gap they didn't left. Because
look, I ain't going to lie to you. Outside. I've been thinking about this the last couple of days.
What's
and
that?
I would not be mad at all if we took Abdul Carter.
Me either.
I would not be mad at all. As a matter of fact, I can conceive a world where that is the best thing we could do. Now, don't get me wrong. Do we need more DB? Yes. Yes, we do. But if we had an Abdul Carter, someone that does know how to do more than a basic bull rush, plus pure raw strength of a Trayvon and a Josh Allen, yes. But I will say this. If we did get Abdul Carter, one of those guys is gone.
I don't think so. I think
I
that'd
do.
be yeah.
No, I don't. I think any competent DC is going to see what we saw last year, that all that rotation was a mistake.
True.
I think they're going to see that, and they're going to realize that Trayvon Walker's a former number 1 overall pick, and we just paid the shit out of Josh Hines-Allen.
Right.
For breaking our sack record. You're not going to put one of them on the bench to put Abdul Carter in the start.
Right now, we still need that third edge, though. We don't have that third edge. You understand what I'm saying?
No, I get that, but I'm saying if we got Abdul Carter's not a third edge. Abdul Carter's going to be a fucking starter. He's not – dude's not coming Oh no, he'll dude. He's got such an extensive tool bag that as much as I love Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker, he would still make them look stupid. The dude does stunts.
We don't need Abdul Carter.
No,
You don't think so?
There's somebody else I want, and Tony Wiggins talked about him, and I've thought about him a lot. I've had a lot of time to think about these draft picks and everything. I don't, and of course we would have to trade back for this guy. This is not a guy that's going to be available. He may be available at the top of the second, but he's probably going to be taken somewhere in the back half of the first round. Shamar Stewart out of Texas A&M.
I know. I've seen. I saw his highlight tape yesterday.
He's 6'6", 290 pounds. He is. He runs a 4.75 is what he's projected. If he runs anywhere in the 4.7s, that's a guy you could put on the edge or you could put on the interior. He's the guy. What?
Hold on, Robert. I know that they still had 900 snaps, but they sucked for those 900 snaps. That's the problem. I'm not saying what I mean by the rotation is. I'm not saying I wasn't suggesting to draft Abdul Carter as a rotation. My exact point is like I was telling Eric, it doesn't matter if Trayvon and Josh Allen had like what we've done with them already. There's no one in here. I don't believe either one of the guys, Isaiah or Eric, would disagree that Abdul Carter does have a deeper bag than both Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker have shown us, at least in the last year and a half. He does have a deeper bag. He pulls more stunts. He's more effective at stunts. He bull rushes more effectively, and he's faster. But the elevation of competition.
He definitely does not bull rush more effectively. That's definitely false.
No, he bull rushes more effectively because I'm not saying that he's stronger. I'm saying that because they're so scared of his quick technique off the side and his stunts, that when he does run right at him, they're not ready for it, and then he uses another thing.
Is that Abdul Carter or is that coaching is the problem? Because if we ran stunts more than one time per game or one time per 5 games, we'd be saying the same thing about Trevor, and we wouldn't even think about taking Abdul Carter. And that's my point with Shamar Stewart and where I was getting.
Yeah,
Shamar Stewart is who our fans think Trayvon is. He's 290 pounds. He's 6'6". He runs like a 4.7-ish 40 is what they're expecting. He's your guy. He can play edge. Yep. You can move him inside because if we go to an odd front defense, like I think we're probably going to, because that's what everybody runs nowadays. If we go to an odd front defense, you can still have Trayvon Walker or Josh drop off the edge, and that guy can be either your edge, depending on what we're running, or he can be an interior defensive lineman. Right. He's bigger. He may not. I don't think he has like the raw power and speed compared with bend that Trayvon Walker has, but he's definitely got a little bit better of a tool set and he's got a very explosive first step, and he's bigger. And I mean,
Robert, I will say real quick, Robert said, watch the game. He got stuffed by big tackles. Even if he does get stuffed by big tackles, he is not any worse than what we got all year from Trayvon and Josh. They got stuffed by all tackles for the most part.
But Penn State also had probably one of the best interior defensive lines.
They did too. Yeah.
And again,
but I agree. I would have to say, though, we do have an interior D line that can make the difference. But I agree with you, though, on the coaching thing. That could 100%, is that Abdul, or is that them they're setting him up for it? And you don't, without being in the building, it's hard to say. But I did want to point out, though, but I am watching what you said. I do know that he's been stuffed by big tackles. I'm not saying that that's the logical first overall pick. I was making the point that I wouldn't be pissed at it either. Hey, like our first pick.
Man. Can you pull up some of his stuff real quick?
What?
Carter or Shamar?
Oh, Carter.
Well, at this point, Shamar's the more realistic option.
You think so?
Well, if he falls to the second where we pick, but the problem is
pull up
we're
Shamar.
going to be. Hold on.
Yeah. Pull up Shamar because Abdul. Everyone knows what Abdul is. Abdul is just a fucking savage of an edge rusher with a lot of stunts in his bag. And you got to think, too, scale of competition, obviously.
Yeah.
That obviously factors in.
Right.
Obviously factors in. Yeah, but my thoughts on Abdul is...
That was cute.
Oh, yeah. Look at this. No, sir.
Okay.
All right, that's dumb.
Let's see. That's against the guy. That's against the guy.
You got to finish the damn play, Josh.
See, and
That
that's
was a
the
good one.
I know we're looking at this but see that was the other problem with our defensive line, with especially Trayvon and Josh. They would never finish the damn play. They get there and like stumble, fall, reach out. They're there, but
Especially damn Eric
finish them.
Armstead. Eric Armstead fell over his own fucking
Ooh.
feet so many times. Hold on a second.
Try to see that.
It's in the NFL, not against guys who might not even get drafted. No, you're right, Robert. That's what I'm saying. Level of competition absolutely plays a factor. I completely agree there.
But
Yeah, I mean,
honestly, though, this is the SEC.
Yeah,
I think he's talking about Carter.
He's talking about Abdul Carter. Well, Penn State doesn't play a bunch of nobodies. It's not like they're not playing anybody. But it's also, I'm not trying to say that's the level of NFL. That's why I was bringing that up. It is important to factor that into.
That's something I like right there. Hold on, that's something I like right there. What he just did. Now the quarterback right here pitches, and what does he do? He still knocks the fuck out of him.
Me too. I want you to finish that bitch.
Yeah,
put him down.
Yeah.
No, that sets the tone. That's what we need.
And getting his hands up. Getting his hands up. Something our defensive linemen
That's something I was about to say. That's something that Isaiah has been bitching about all year. Put them big bear paws up and smack it down. Do something.
And that's the crazy part, because usually that's a natural action right there. You know what I mean? That's a natural. And why didn't our defensive line do it a lot? Were they coached not to? Why? It's natural. When you see them get ready to throw your hands up. But very rarely did they do it.
No, Robert, I agree with that. Highlight reels don't tell the whole story. But I gotta say, Abdul Carter is not all highlight reel. There is a reason that Abdul Carter is considered a top 10. He will probably be gone in the top. It's not probably. He will be gone in the top 10. It's because he is a great player. Now, my point about the highlight reel, and even with this guy, and you compare this guy, highlight reel is just going to show you in the heat of the moment, do they have the instinct to make the play? And that's really what matters. So yes, in a way, highlight reel doesn't show everything, but in a way it does too, because if they can make the play with the instinct, everything else is coachable.
I think part of what we're missing here, though, and I think anyone that watches the Jaguars, or like anyone that watched the Bucks at all last year, will know this and understand, at least understand what I'm saying. If Tyroa McMillan comes out and runs anything in the 4.5s or under, he'll be a Jaguar if he's there at 5. I mean, there's almost no way to say that Liam Cohen comes over and says, "Oh, BTJ, I'm going to use him." I know he said he's going to try and use him in the Mike Evans role, or that's what people are saying. He said, whatever it is. BTJ is not Mike Evans. BTJ is more athletic. He's smaller bodied than Mike Evans, but he's a lot better after the catch. He's a lot faster and he's lankier, but he has better, he's faster. So Tyrone McMillan's one of those guys where he's 6'5", 212. And he's your prototypical Mike Evans build and speed, where he's going to be our big body red zone threat. And then you've got BTJ working opposite of him, coming underneath, different stuff like that. Because my thing is, you got Christian Kirk on the last year of his deal. Gabe Davis is overpaid, and he's going in the second year of his deal, and he probably has an out in year 3.
Dude, he's absolutely traded. He's so fucking traded. It ain't funny.
I don't think we can. I just don't think anybody's.
No, I'm not saying not this year, but like.
I don't even think he's going to get traded. I think he's going to get cut.
That's very possible, because dude, Cohen didn't even. Did you see the way Cohen introduced himself to him? He didn't even look at him. He's constantly talking to Foye the whole time. Just dabs
Gabe Davis.
Like, move along.
Gabe Davis looked like he was. Bro, Gabe Davis looked like he was miserable in that press conference when he was looking at everything. I think he knows his ass ain't going to do shit. But my thing is, though, is like guys that are safe. I think Christian Kirk's safe for at least another year. Look, he's on a contract. We might as well keep him here. Him and Trevor have a good rapport.
Unless, because I was thinking about this as well. That receiver out of Arizona.
For Tyrone McMillan. That's the guy I was talking about.
Yeah.
So the only problem with that, though, is
Christian Kirk.
I don't think that affects Christian Kirk, only because McMillan is a pure. He is a pure like 50-50 ball, like big body receiver, versus Kirk is still going to fill that slot role for us.
Tyrone McMillan just certifies that Gabe Davis is cooked.
Yeah, exactly.
and
That's why I say
yeah,
draft him.
I got you. Yeah.
Exactly.
So my thing is with Cohen coming in, you got the offensive mind. He's from Tampa Bay, where they had a guy of that size, that projected caliber. I think there's a very good chance we take him there. Now, could I be wrong? Absolutely.
Right.
Could they take a Kelvin Banks if he's there and just go ahead and shore up a tackle spot? They could. I don't know. Do I think Kelvin Banks is the best tackle in this class? No, I do not. That's where he's projected to be, but I don't think he is. I think we need to focus on our interior. And then if we find like a solid right tackle, maybe give them the shot. Because there's a couple guys in this class that are right tackles that like are projecting right tackle, but are also projecting to potentially move inside. So, like, it's one of those things too. And if we do that, we get a guy at right tackle in the second round. We say, hey, you're going to play right tackle. Anton, you're moving to left because that's where you're naturally at. You beat out Walker Little. Now we have an overpaid swing tackle. Like, I can absolutely see that being something that happens.
Right.
Because, I haven't given up on Anton yet. And I haven't necessarily given up on Walker Little either. Would I like to see somebody get drafted in here that I know is going to be great, or I at least can get that projection on? Absolutely. The defensive line is different than the offensive line in the fact of our offensive line isn't even like good enough. We're not even deep with like players that we think could turn out. The defensive line on the interior, like the edge is very light. The defensive line though is pretty deep in the middle where we're talking about taking Mason Graham. Now, is it the best quality? No, not exactly. But we've got at least 3 guys that I think could be starters. We've got Jordan Jefferson, we have Mason Smith, and we have Deham, along with now the additional guy we were supposed to have the whole fucking time, Eric Armstead, who's 6'7", 315, 320 pounds, whatever he is, back in the middle of the line. That is 4 guys that can play the position and play it good enough for us to say, hey, let's hold off on this for a little bit and let's go get offensive linemen. Now,
Robert just made a good point.
I was just looking at that too. Yeah,
I was going to say, now that's
going to put it up on the thing.
I don't think it's going to happen personally, but that's what he's projecting. If you cut Kirk, you save $16 million in cap.
Mason Smith got almost 400 or 500 snaps this year.
Yeah, there's not even really top guards out there in free agency right now.
The only 2 that are considered top guards are Trey Smith and Mekhi Becton. If you let Mekhi Becton play guard,
but they got Sherford there as one of the top guards in free agency. We know better than that.
That's how you know it's a weak ass class.
Exactly. Exactly. So
but the problem with that, Robert, though, is we may not know about them, like you're saying, but at the same time, they're there. We got Deham, who we know is a starter in the NFL, and we got Eric Armstead, who last time he played D tackle was a top 10 D tackle in the NFL.
We're also ignoring the size that they're absolute mountains. They are big and strong as shit. And I don't have to see a million snaps from Mason Smith to know he's going to be good. Mm-hmm. The snaps you've already seen from Mason Smith tell you he's going to be good. Dude just grabs guards and just literally get the hell out of the way. Just literally, please move. Just sets them aside. No, he's going to be good.
Exactly.
Deham was getting run over in games? I mean, not really.
See, that's those. You really didn't look at it. He wasn't getting run over.
Yeah, he was getting double teamed in games because our edges are one-on-one islands 5 yards apart from him. So they're running the center and the tackle straight at Deham, and they're running the tackle on the one side to one-on-one against Mason Smith or Jordan Jefferson because they were rookies, or Ademawo, and they're running them one-on-ones.
But if you think about it, he's a nose tackle. He's supposed to be a space eater. He's supposed to take on,
and that's what he does.
And that's what he does. And he still was making plays, though, regardless. Now, what I didn't appreciate was Nielsen dropping him back in pass coverage. I didn't
that never, ever needed to happen. Not ever one time.
Yeah, that was a head scratcher there.
But I'll say this, too, though. Devon Hamilton, I don't think he was getting run over. I think Devon Hamilton was one of the few examples you had on this team last year of gap discipline.
Yes.
That's what Devon Hamilton was. I need you to plug this hole. Understood. That hole was always plugged. There was nobody running straight through Devon Hamilton. I did not remember not one time that someone just absolutely bull rushed and flattened him.
Right. Exactly.
But and hold ground. There's nose tackles that get doubled and hold ground. I would like you to tag a clip. Pull up a clip. Like post a link to a clip.
One of the best examples of the Philly tush push, where they couldn't
Yeah,
get.
I was about to say, I'm gonna be real with you. If Devon Hamilton was not good, he ain't stopping the tush push because Jalen Hurts always dives left.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm just telling you like it is. He always dives in left. That's right at Devon Hamilton.
That's it. Yeah.
Either way, it doesn't matter. I don't need to see Devon Hamilton getting beat a couple times because I know he's good. I've seen the times that he wins majority of the time. I know he's good. But regardless, that's not even the point. The point is none of them look good if they're all in bad positions to lose anyway.
Correct. They're not put in the right position to win, then they're all gonna look bad. You're gonna think they're bad unless you actually looking at them and seeing what they actually do.
I think the only thing we saw this year that was just genuinely made everyone else look bad is Devin Lloyd. Cisco was put in bad positions due to failures of gap discipline and knowing your job by this coverage beneath him. And then he made poor decisions to try to rectify it.
Mm-hmm.
That makes him bad.
Right.
But the only time I can remember, like, someone's just blatantly fucking bad was Devin Lloyd, dude. Dude just did not do his job at all. Like, going
we tried to defend him, but it was just too much of the same dang old thing. I'm telling you, it was too much of the same dang old thing.
That guy couldn't cover a bed, and you got Foye Oluokun trying to do everything at once, so it's making him vulnerable. And then Cisco's trying to play hero ball and save everybody, but completely leaving the top exposed. I mean, it's just all around bad positioning, which I think Cohen's evaluation of that was absolutely spot on. That we have the talent in most of these positions. They're just in bad positions to win.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, he even said it, though. He was like, this is not a 4-12 team.
Mm-hmm.
Or 4-13. No, 4-12.
Yeah.
But
I mean, we agree with that. We all know that it was not a 4-12 team. We know this.
Yeah. And he said, look, man, fuck all that for a minute. Fuck all of that. He said, this is about Trevor. Thank you, fucking Jesus. Because for the past, year and a half, Doug's been like, yeah, well, we're not really going to tell you who's calling plays because you wouldn't understand. Yeah, and it's not on play calling, even though we called a fucking run up the gut on 4th and 4. It's not play calling, but yeah. And our offensive line's good. They just need to gel. It's on Trevor. He's got to get the ball out faster, even though he had one of the quickest snap to release times in the league. Yeah, it's on him. Yeah.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember him saying that Trevor's got to get the ball out a little faster when he was taking a bunch of sacks at the beginning of the year, but he had the quickest snap to release time in the fucking league. Like, okay, buddy.
Okay. Okay. I'm glad you brought that up. I'm like, huh? Okay. But okay, I get you now. Gotcha. Okay.
Well, Robert, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think that we have a lot of elite players, and I don't think the Eagles have a lot of elite players either. They just have a lot of good players that are in good systems.
Look,
they have elite players in the right spots.
Look, that's what I'd say. Yeah.
I go back a little further than you guys do. And I'm going to go back to the 1972 Miami Dolphins. They didn't have a bunch of elite players on defense. In fact, the defense was called the no-name defense because they really didn't have a bunch of name players. But they played together and they won because they had a hell of a coach and he knew how to utilize them.
Well, so, Robert, let's get into this real quick.
Even with New England, when New England was at their heyday.
Yeah, they had a couple teams that weren't nobodies. Yeah, but let's talk about this real quick, Robert. The mentioning of elite players and how we think we have some, we don't, or whatever. Brian Thomas Jr., he is elite. I do not care. that is not up for debate. Tyson Campbell, he is elite. He really is. But you got to put him in position to be elite. The reason you see Cooper DeJean being elite is because he's backed up by Darius Slay and Quinyon Mitchell on the other side, so he can play more freely.
Right.
I mean, okay. Now, Jarian Jones, that dude's going to be elite if he's not already. Bro didn't give up a touchdown the whole year. The whole year. Even with this broken-ass defense, he stayed fundamentally and roll sound. He did his job.
Mm-hmm. Right.
I think Josh Allen. I do think Josh Allen is elite.
Right. Exactly.
Okay. I do believe that Trayvon Walker is elite. I think that both of those guys, when in the right position, have shown you that they are a force to be reckoned with. Foye Oluokun, he is an elite linebacker. I do not give a shit what anyone says.
No.
That is not up for debate either. Always leads the league in tackles, if not top 5. Always knows what's going on. Brilliant-minded player. Ventrell Miller, he is a heat-seeking missile. And if we're calling players on the Eagles elite like Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean, Ventrell Miller deserves recognition too. That guy is always on the ball and is always doing his job.
Exactly. To where offensive actually had the scheme for him when he was in the game.
You know, Robert, we said the same thing. We felt like Allen may have lost speed with his weight, but we also had to debate this. Okay, did he look slower? Yes, but he's also running from 5 yards further away now. They spread our edges so far that they had to run a marathon to get to the backfield. But regardless, that's true. But that still doesn't take away from the fact Josh Allen, dude, he will set the edge. He will bring in pressure. And if he wasn't 5 miles away, I do feel like his sack totals would increase by at least 8 more sacks this year. There were so many plays where he could have just finished it if he was a second earlier. That's the difference between being spread or being tight. Again, I think he's elite. Trevor Lawrence, ball placement, the IQ, the physicality, the athleticism, the arm strength. He's got all of these things in the elite categories. Travis Etienne Jr. He does have great ball carrier vision. He does have great speed and elusiveness, and he is a tough runner. We just keep running him up the gut behind one of the worst offensive lines known to man.
You know what, though? Honestly, I think as and if Tank progresses, like I hope he will, he's going to take over the lead role because he runs angrier. He hits the hole.
Oh, faster. I agree with that for sure.
And I think that would make ETN, because in my opinion, looking at
hold on. Robert just brought up something.
What's that?
Robert said Devin Lloyd had 8 sacks his last year in school. We haven't used him right yet. No, that's because he was playing off the edge. He was just an outside linebacker. He wasn't a true linebacker. Now we're using him as a true linebacker, and he's lost. He's not a true linebacker.
Okay, can we say maybe it's a learning curve here?
I would say that I'd say he was a glorified edge rusher. That's what he was.
I mean, I would 100% disagree with that because he was top 3 in run stopping in 2023, and like in the league, he was a top. No.
Yeah, like when he was here. When he was here.
When he's here, 2023. 2023 in Jacksonville, he was a top 3 run stopper.
Yeah,
and he was like middle pack in coverage. Like
Sam, that's a great spot for him.
He's not a bad player by any means of the sense. We just had a scheme here that literally no one understood, and everyone was confused all the time because it wasn't a real football scheme. It was a guy with an ego trying to put players where he wanted them, not where they should be playing. Everybody said they fucking hated Ryan Nielsen and how much of a dickhead he was and how terrible his scheme was. And if you disagreed with it or asked him questions, he would just blow up in your face and tell you you're stupid. I mean, he's basically Urban Meyer, but the defensive coordinator talking about, what do you know? Blah, blah, blah. Like,
sure. The reason I bring that up though is he brought up school. That's what it was about.
No, I get
up
that.
His 8 sacks in school. Now, last year, that was what I was going to correlate to. I was about to say though, when we saw him run stopping last year, he was blitzing a lot. It was this year when we saw him have to play a more traditional gap discipline coverage linebacker that he struggled. I'm not saying that he's not athletic and he's not a good player. I think last year is evidence, obviously, of bad scheme. Everyone suffered from bad scheme. That's what I've been saying the whole time, is you got to put them in the right place to win. We have not been putting these guys in the right place. He is an example of that. Now, it did expose the fact, though, that he does not have good coverage skills. It doesn't matter. Isaiah, you pointed out plenty of simple cover one robbers that it was simple. You could tell, and he still is not good in coverage.
Well, I mean, 75%
of those. You got to utilize him better, though, too.
Well, 75% of those, though, I do want to point out. We were like, "Oh, this is cover one robber," and they're like, "Wait, what the fuck are these guys doing?" Like,
yep, and everybody was
like, and they're like, every time we looked at a play, and we were like, "Wait, this is this," and we go, "Wait, is it that?" Yeah, no, it's that. Wait, is it that? Because half of the teams doing one coverage, and another half of the teams doing a different coverage, or not sure.
Yeah, we always had a man zone hybrid for some reason. It was stupid.
It's so hard to say, like, and that's the hardest.
I just
part
know
about
watching
this whole thing.
Watching Cole Kmet run right at you, and then turning around and watching him run right past you. No one's covering him.
Right.
He was clearly your man. We watched him move man to man with multiple times. Just cooked.
Exactly.
Cooked.
Yeah.
And Cole Kmet is not an X factor tight end, bro. He is not taking over the game, dude.
Right.
It's not to say that he's bad, but he is not dominating the game. And Devin was just like, for some reason, I have no idea what to do with this guy. But regardless, I also think Robert's right. He did say he needed to slow down. He slowed down. He put on a little bit of weight in the offseason. He got slower. I would agree with that. He was slower to get to the line of attack. He was, but I don't know if that was I don't know if that was because he's overthinking the overcomplicated ass scheme and wasn't sure of his assignment, or if that's because he gained weight and lost speed. It's hard to say, because if you're unsure, you're not going to run full speed ahead.
Look, that goes back to something I said during the season. And I said, what we have right here is a recognition problem in a lot of the plays. I said that. And as the season went on, it progressed and it showed itself even more. You know, and the reason why? Because they didn't understand what was going on.
No, they had no clue what was going on.
You know, so half was instincts, half was thinking, you know, hoping they made the right thing, or they would just happen to be in the right spot. And it didn't happen. It just didn't happen. So now
you can call it Mike Caldwell.
So now what we need to do, and we had a defense that didn't blitz at all.
Dude, yeah, we were not sending pressure at all, dude.
Even the game, against Houston, the first play, we did a stunt, hit CJ. That's the only time. That was it.
Yeah, and it was like, oh, that worked. Let me never do that again.
Right.
Like, yeah.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what I mean by, like, we're not putting him in the right position. And that's what Liam Cohen means when he said that. That's why I like Liam Cohen a lot. That was really the biggest topic to rein that all back in was, you know.
Yeah. Now, what I would like to see, if we could, is go and get that cornerback out of Miami. What's his name? Holland? Is it Holland? It'd be a free agent this year.
The safety.
Yeah, the safety.
Kevin Holland?
No.
Kevin Holland's no, is it?
It's Javon Holland.
Why was I saying Kevin then? Yeah, I've always said Kevin too.
Kevin Holland was a player back in the early 2000s, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I'm tripping. But anyway, yeah, he is a free agent, but I don't think Miami lets him walk, though. He's an up-and-coming star. No, I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like they should absolutely. They're probably going to pay him.
I think Miami's blowing it all up. Roster-wise.
Well, actually, you know what? That's very possible too.
Because I mean, the only reason I don't think that's going to happen is because I think that they would have already fired Josh McDaniels and done it. But like the Graham made Chase on look good. Good is a strong word, but I see what you're saying. But no, because it's so hard to say, because like I feel like they would have already done it and they would have already cleared out the coaching staff. So I don't think so. But I can see them letting some of those guys go in preparation to blow it up next season.
Hey, Randy say, I'm checking the next one. Sorry, boys, just got home from work. How we feeling about the next defensive coach? What defensive coach? Was he asking for names? I asked him who is the next D coach, so hopefully he'll respond here in a little bit. But yeah.
There's no telling, man. There's no telling. Honestly, at this point, we just need someone, dude. You could have a Madden level IQ of basic defenses. Just run the simple shit. Let these guys do what they do.
Oh, okay. He said we signed Anthony Campanile, former Packers linebackers coach.
Yep, just like we were just talking about earlier, Anthony.
Yeah.
That's a little concerning, just slightly. Ruh-roh, Raggy. But hey, he's a linebackers coach. He'll help that guy we were just talking about, hopefully.
Weird. 'Cause they haven't actually
announced that.
Is ass-kicking coach Italian still on? Yeah, because that's okay. Well,
it just broke 6 minutes ago.
Yep, saw it from the Jaguars. Right. Anthony Campanile.
Y'all heard it here, people. Breaking news. See?
Yeah, we were already talking about it. We talked about it earlier. Thanks, Robert. Where was he before that?
Green Bay.
No. I mean before Green Bay.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
I think he did a stint with the Dolphins, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I mean, Green Bay's defense is really good. They're really good.
You think?
He was the linebackers coach for Miami, and then last year he was the linebackers coach and running game coordinator for the Packers.
Okay.
Let's see. I mean, the Packers were number 5 in run defense last year. Or that's total defense. Sorry, where's run defense? Packers were number 7, allowing 99.4 rushing yards per game and a total of 12 touchdowns. 13 touchdowns, sorry. 13 rushing touchdowns and 99.4 yards per game rushing against them. Versus Jaguars at 132.6 with 19 rushing touchdowns.
Well, hell, every quarterback we played had career rushing games against us. Of course.
No fucking shit, dude. That's the worst part of this. It was the damn quarterbacks getting all those fucking yards.
I know, right? Even
I gotta cut that shit out. Dude. Apparently, Curtis is trying to move this AFC South show to a partially a Nashville radio station. In a like a 6 to 7 slot, and they're supposed to be like clean language, and so hopefully we're editing and they're running it because
that
Isaiah guy is talking again. Yeah, we bleep 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 bleep.
That is hilarious. Well, you know what?
You got this AFC South show on the radio. That's cool.
We're not yet.
If you don't feel like it, just let me know. I can act halfway.
Well, it's supposed to be like 6 to 7, so unless we pre-record it, I'm not gonna be able to do it. Okay. But I'll let you guys know. I'm over here doing mock drafts and killing it. God dang.
That's gonna be on Mondays, right? Because I'm usually ain't doing nothing on Mondays anyway. So yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I don't know for sure. I'd have to ask him. He's gonna reach out to him and see. But good old mock draft.
Keep me updated. But I will say, gentlemen, I have at least got to get ready to go. I have.
Hold on 1 second. Let me show you this mock draft first. Watch how I cook. I'm quite cooking. I'm stirring in the kitchen here.
Oh wow!
All right. Eric. You got
I'm looking.
Will Johnson.
Okay.
Josh.
Oh, Scatabo.
I had a couple trades. Okay. I had one trade actually, not a couple.
Scatabo. Okay.
Yeah, Scatabo at 106. I mean, if he's there, he's a big running back, and
and he runs
on his last year of his deal. Kyle Kennard, edge out of South Carolina. Deion Walker, who can kind of play a little bit of both. Jalen Reed after Torrey Horton. Aronde Gadsden the second. I actually kind of like this guy out of Syracuse, tight end. I looked a little bit into him. Jake Majors, who can play center or guard from Texas. Antoine Wells Jr. I don't really know much about Bial Cone, but I really wanted another cornerback. And then Cody Lindenberg out of Minnesota, which of the first couple picks fell Cam Ward, Sanders, Dart, Kelvin Banks. That would be crazy.
That would be absolutely insane.
It would be.
if 3-1, I
But-
can see it happening though.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know.
Look, those two period. I don't know why they that high anyway.
Yeah, they're because they're quarterbacks.
Yeah, it ain't. That's all. It ain't got nothing to do.
That's all it is.
With the talent. It's just their quarterbacks, and quarterback for some reason means if you've got any talent, you're top 10.
That's pitiful.
Dude,
That's
you think
sad.
about it though. Think about it though. If you're a quarterback, you're either going top 10 or the second round. Like it almost never happens any other way. Not that it never happens, but it's pretty rare. Like your top 10 or second round.
All right. That was a good one.
See, I miss this, man.
I know.
Man. Yeah.
I know. We're going to have to talk about it. We're going to see if we want to go back to 1 or 2, and but we're definitely going to be consistent. Then we got to start looking at stuff. My wedding is the month of the draft. So I'm probably gonna do the wedding stuff, go on the honeymoon, and then my buddy's gonna help me afterwards record my combine stuff. We're bringing that to you guys. We're doing it. Whoever who's here, Worm is still here, of course, probably. Shout out Worm. But yeah, that's all I got, boys. You got anything else before I cut us off?
Duval.
Duval.
Oh, I hate that. Oh my god.